Hey everybody, how you doing? Danny Mayu, Master Coach, and today we're going to talk about something important to you and your employees or the people who work for you or even maybe your children. Procrastination. I'm going to give you 3 tips to overcome procrastination. If you suffer from procrastination, don't worry, you're not alone. A lot of my clients suffer from it. I sometimes suffer from it, and a lot of people I know suffer from procrastination. We're not going to talk about the cause of it. We're going to give you today 3 tips how to overcome it. So before we go on, I need you to understand that 88% of the people you know will procrastinate minimum 1 hour a day. On average, a normal person will procrastinate approximately 55 days in a year. So if you own a business, or maybe you want to start a business, or you're working on a project, I want you to realize that procrastination can be a huge source of a lack of productivity or efficiency. So learning how to overcome procrastination should help you to manifest your goals, your desires, whatever you want to accomplish faster. So tip number 1, which I think you already know, that it's to break huge tasks into smaller chunks. So if you have a big project, you want to divide it into little segments. It's the same, I don't know if you ever run a marathon, you ever run long distance. Let's say you got 10 miles. If you look 10 miles over there, you say, well, that's going to be a long way to get there. But what you want to do, you want to run to the next telephone pole, right? Or less marker. So you run, and when you get there, you go to the next one. It's the same for any type of other project. You want to write a book, let's say, and it could be overwhelming, right? So, I need to write a book, I got so many things to do. Well, the first thing, maybe you want to do that an outline. And one day you do the outline. The next day, probably you want to work on the introduction. The way I wrote my book, I said I'm going to do an hour a day. You know, no matter what, I'm going to work on my book an hour a day. It doesn't matter if I write 1 page, 2 pages, or 1 paragraph, or I did research on the book for the book that day. So that's what it is. You want to break everything in smaller portions. So that's going to help you to overcome procrastination, because anybody can do 10-minute work, right? So let's say you want to learn another language, Chinese, Russian, Spanish, or whatever the language you want to learn. When you look at this and say, oh, I need to learn another language, it is huge. But I really believe that if you take 15 minutes a day and you learn for 15 minutes a day, you will get there eventually. Of course, if you do half an hour, 3 hours a day, it's going to get faster. But I would recommend you start 15 minutes a day, because we're going to go to step number 2 with the momentum in a second. So tip number 1, big task into smaller portion. So before we go to tip number 2, I would like to challenge you a little bit. I want you to pause the video, go look at your to-do list, go look at any project that you have to do, look at that big project and divide it into smaller portion. I want you to do it right now, because this is how you beat procrastination, by taking immediate action. Let's not do too much thinking right now. Go look at your project, make it smaller. It's going to help you to get what you want. It's going to help you to realize that goal, to finish that project faster. That's a fact, that's for sure. All right, ready for tip number 2? Tip number 2 is use the 5-minute rules. Use the 5-minute rules. So I want you to get a timer like this, put 5 minutes and perform the activity that you don't like to do. When you start performing something, you create motion. When you create motion, you create momentum. A lot of time you're going to start with the 5 minutes and you're going to keep going, and all of a sudden it's going to be 30 minutes. So start working 5 minutes at a time. At the end of the 5 minutes, that's okay. If you don't feel like it, you can stop right there. You start again later, but at least you did 5 minutes. But many times you are going to do a lot more, because like I just said, it's going to create motion. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're somebody who likes to work out, and usually you go to the gym 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, and one of these days you wake up and you don't feel like it. Happens to all of us. But you decide to put your gym clothes on, drive to the gym and start working out. And at the end of 45 minutes, you finish your workout and you look at it and say, that was one of the best workouts I ever done. So what just happened? Well, you just applied the 5-minute rules, meaning that you took action. Action created motion. Motion created momentum. And at the end of everything, you realize that you have a better results than sitting on the couch not doing anything. So what I would like for you to do at the end of this video is take your timer, put 5 minutes on it, and perform an action that you've been procrastinating for a little while. It could be personal, it could be professional. It could be cleaning the garage, it could be making phone calls, it could be anything. Just put your timer on and start performing the action. At the end of the 5 minutes, you can do whatever you want. Good luck with that. So what have we learned so far about overcoming procrastination? The first one was to take big tasks into smaller chunks. Tip number 2 was about the 5 minutes rules, and tip number 3 is eliminate distraction. Distraction can even become addiction for some of you. When I look at this, the cell phone right here, this is one of the major issues for some people that do not achieve their goals. They always delay because they do not focus on what they're supposed to do. So distraction, what is it? Is anything, any activity that distracts you from performing the right task. Cell phone is my number 1, I believe. Number 2 could be checking email. Number 3, it could be answering phone calls, or whatever the case may be. So you want to look at your daily routine and see what distracts you. So from there, once you're aware of your distraction, then you can make a plan. So what do I recommend? When we talk about distraction, a lot of people say, Danny, what do you do? You're a focus coach. What do you do not to be distracted? There's a method that I really like. It's called Pomodoro Technique. I talk about it in a few of my other videos. So work hard for 20-25 minutes and take a 5-10 minutes break. So work hard for 20-25 minutes, then take a 5-10 minute break. When I mean work hard, I really don't mean work hard. I mean work with focus, work with intention. Once you do something, you put your full attention into it. I do this all day long. I will do 20 minutes work, 5-10 minutes off. 20-minute work, 5-10 minutes off. And it's very powerful because you're going to do a lot more work than some people can do in 2-3 hours if you're extremely focused on what you do. Give you an example. If I'm working right now on my project and the phone rings, I will not pick up. If somebody send me an email, I will not answer. If somebody ring at my door, I will not go down and answer the door. I will focus on my task. After my 20 minutes, then I'll take a break, 5-10 minutes, then I can check my phone, I can make a quick phone call, I can have a cup of coffee or whatever it is, and I go back again, put my timer, 20 minutes, one more time, and keep focusing on it. So in order for you to eliminate distraction, first of all, you need to be aware of which distraction distract you. The second is you need to have the will, make the decision to eliminate this one. And the third one is the discipline. Do what you're supposed to do. So when it's time to go work, again, I'm going to say the same thing. Put your timer on. And once your timing is on, I would recommend that you put that on mute somewhere. And maybe you put your email notification off and you focus only on what you need to do. Guys, my name is Denis Mayou. If you would like to know more about what we do here at Focus180 Coaching, we help people to go from point A to point B. So we help you realize your desires, your dreams, your goals faster. If you are struggling right now with one part of your life and you see that you're kind of stuck, you cannot move forward, give us a call. We do a one-on-one session with you. And from there, we'll see if we have a program for you, if we can help you. So I want to end this video the same way I always do. Stay well and stay focused on what you really, 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 really want. See ya.